Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today we've got a big box to unwrap. So you may have caught my video looking at this room, the cinema build, and I did mention that I've got currently a 7.1.4 system. So what that means is I've got 7 channels surrounding me. I have 1 subwoofer and 4 Atmos speakers. So the way it's configured, you've got the central speaker at the front, that's where your speech comes out of for audio, 2 front speakers, 2 side speakers, 2 back speakers, 4 up-firing Atmos speakers, and 1 subwoofer. Well, I managed to get hold of the identical set of speakers that I have already for a very reasonable price. It was a challenging eBay purchase. I have to admit, had to go through quite a few hoops, shall we say, to get this. The seller wasn't the easiest, shall we say, but it's here, it's arrived, so we're just about to unpack it. Now, my current speakers, I do have one which is a little bit damaged. Had damaged some time ago. It still works, but yeah, probably it may have affected the performance of it. And what I'm really keen on getting is the second subwoofer, and also because of in the past this room was very much open to sunlight coming in, and because around the speakers is like a black wrap to sort of give you the effect of wood, I suppose, on chipboard, because this is essentially what these are made out of, chipboard, outer casing, and that's kind of sort of split, well not split, but it's moved so you can see sort of the underneath of the chipboard a bit. So I have kind of touched up those areas with a black marker, but when I found this set online for a very reasonable price, I thought, well, to be honest, I can swap out some of these speakers that have got this kind of sort of warping of the outer casing. It doesn't actually affect the speaker. The speakers work fine, and I suppose I could keep some of these speakers as spares. But yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to unbox this today on the channel. So welcome back. So yeah, let me just move the camera around. There we go. The LTAX complete surround system featuring active subwoofer, fully shielded center speaker, 2 easy installed satellite front, 2 easy installed satellite for rear. Atomic. So this is a Danish company, LTAX. I guess they are probably considered more of a budget speaker range. I don't believe they're made anymore. Certainly this package isn't made. I think they do still make speakers, generally found in the retailer in the UK called Hughes TV and Electrical. That's where I bought my original speaker set from. But speakers can be incredibly expensive. I was considering upgrading to an American firm called Klipsch, and they're very nice speakers, but you're talking several £100 just for 2 speakers. Now this package was about £76 plus the shipping on top, so it was a very reasonable price. And as I already have these speakers, I thought, to be honest, I can just replace the ones which show a little wear. I can add the extra subwoofer, so I've got the 7.2.4 system. So that what that means is that the bass will be more evenly balanced within the room. So rather than just having bass on one side of the room, you'll get an even spread. So you'll have two subwoofers which actually sit behind the chairs, which that chair there is a sub that sits over there, and behind this chair as well there'll be a sub. So yeah, just to sort of give you a bit of a background into sort of cinema systems. I know for some people they're not really fussed about this sort of thing, they're quite happy just with a TV or a sound bar. I've always been interested in home cinema, and yes, you can pay a lot of money for stuff. I've always tried to keep within my budget with these things, and yeah, this was an incredibly good deal. So so yeah, let's get on with the unboxing of this today. Okay, so there is a little bit of speaker wire there. I don't need that speaker wire because I've already got the speaker wire in place, so that can just be a bit of spare. So we've got the styrofoam, which is always good to see. Okay, so here we go. Here's the top speaker. So it looks pretty good. It's all wrapped in like a foam, so that looks pretty good. So this is the big one. Take that off. Right, this is the subwoofer. Yep, looks brand new. Great. Okay, so we've got a power cord there, that's for the subwoofer. There are some more speaker cables. I'm not going to bother getting those out because I don't really need those. And there's the speakers, all wrapped in the plastic wrap, so that looks really good. And that's two speakers there, and another two speakers there. Okay, so rather than me sort of stand behind the camera and you just seeing me sort of trying to negotiate all this stuff, it's easier for me to show you in front of the camera. So here's the first speaker. I'm going to undo this. There's my scissors. There we go, nice speaker there. There's the back. That's your terminal port, so you've got your positive and your negative speaker wires. So I'm not going to get them all out, but basically you've got 4 of them that will look like this. There we go, so can you see all the top? Now on some of the ones I've got, the sort of round here and here, it's all kind of starting to sort of move away from the underneath. So I'll just show you. I'll just take the speaker grill off. I'm not sure where I can actually. No, I'm not going to do that for the time being actually. But yeah, that's basically what this speaker looks like. Okay, so here's the central speaker. And as advertised, it is all brand new. Still sealed all in the packets. So I was a bit hesitant as to what the condition of all these would be, because I've had a bit of a time with the delivery with this. Went through several things, had to be refunded because it wasn't sent. Then it was then put up again for sale, so I then purchased it again, and then it took about a week to actually get it delivered to me. The seller was, I don't know, I don't quite understand what happened, but he just seemed to be very awkward about getting this thing delivered to me. Wasn't the best experience, but it looks like it's turned out great because all of these speakers are brand new. So you know, that's all I wanted. I just wanted the product delivering to me. Yes, it is a heavy box, but there seemed to be some problem with the courier. I don't know what it was all about, but anyway, it's here. So yeah, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. All this looks great. Really nice. And then I'm not going to show you the other speakers because they're all the same, but I will show you the subwoofer in a bit of a closer look. So there's the sub. Now on the bottom, that is where your bass comes from. So this is the big sub here. These are the feet, and keep it off the floor. They've kind of pointed, so it allows a bit of space between the floor and the bass. And then you've got, see the, I guess air flows through there. And then on the back, you've got ports. You can rig up other speakers to this, but I'll only really use it just for the sub. So I'll put my line in here. I've got a cable that goes into the back of the receiver, and then you've got your power cord here, which, yeah, and there's actually a switch there. I'm not sure the other one's got a switch, but slightly different. For some reason this has got like a grill on it. Don't know really what the purpose of that is, but it doesn't have that on the other one. But it's essentially the same subwoofer. You do have the little dials up here, and when you're configuring your system, you can sort of set those to your desired you know, sub level. So it's the next day. Had a little bit of a think about sort of my speaker setup, and it was mentioned to me in the comments on my movie room tour about the rear surrounds and how they're not at ear level. I think it was Trevor at Double Bill Movies. He said, why not think about maybe trying to get your speakers up to ear level. So yeah, I did take that on board, Trevor, and I think I might have come up with sort of a solution to that. Because I've got these extra speakers now, yeah, I'm going to kind of just show you what I mean. So just bear with this, and I'll just get things set up so you can sort of see what I'm kind of talking about. Okay, so in front of me you can see the rear surround speakers. These will sit on the left of me if I'm facing the other way looking at the screen. So you've actually got 3 speakers there now. Now the bottom speaker is going to be a dummy speaker. That was the existing speaker I had. Then the second speaker is one of the new speakers that I've received in this box. And what I'm going to do is plug that in to my receiver, so that will actually be more at ear level to get the rear surround effects. And then I've put the Atmos speaker on the top of it. And if I just pan back a bit, you can see there's the ceiling. So actually having that sort of like a 2-story high, hopefully will help with the Atmos effect. Ideally, it would have been great if I could have had that Atmos speaker at the very top there. There's no real room to mount it. I mean, ideally, yes, it would have been great to have had sort of the Atmos speaker either in the ceiling. I mean, ideally, probably somewhere in the middle up there, sort of actually within the ceiling. But that would have meant, you know, sort of having wires coming through the ceiling. Quite messy. Yeah, it probably would have worked, but I don't know. I decided I didn't necessarily want to be putting speakers in ceilings, so I think this might actually work. Having that double speaker, obviously the bottom one will be a dummy speaker. There won't be anything coming out of that. I don't have enough ports on the receiver for an extra 2 speakers. I think I'm only going to do this on the back speakers. Don't necessarily think it might work on the front ones because I have a lot more cabling over a longer length. I'm going to be using the existing speaker wires that come with this package. They're actually slightly longer than the speaker wire that I've used to connect. I'll just move over this way. Can you see that speaker there? Obviously you've got just the single back surround with the Atmos. Now the speaker cable on there isn't quite long enough to kind of sort of do this setup. So but with if you can see that black cable there, that's the actual cable that comes within the pack, and it's slightly longer, so I think it's just about enough to be able to get that to the Atmos speaker. I'm not sure whether I need to swap out the other cable that will go to this surround. I may have to do that as well, but slightly longer cables than my existing cables, so I think it might just work without having to buy extra cable. Don't really want to have to be sort of getting more cable in, but yeah, I just think it might help, certainly with the rear surrounds, to sort of have sort of the rear surround in the middle with the Atmos firing up to the ceiling. A lot less space between the Atmos and the ceiling, rather compared to this side where you've got, you know, there's quite a bit of ceiling space between the Atmos. So I'm just hoping that it'll create a better setup sort of for the Atmos and the rear surrounds. And here is that cable I've mentioned. This is another roll of the cable. It's reasonable speaker cable. You know, it's a decent gauge. So yeah, I'll undo this one, and we'll be using this for the surround back left, and I'll repeat it for the right side as well. Okay, so a little update. I've wired in the 2 speakers, the top Atmos speaker and the middle speaker, the bottom speaker just being a dummy speaker. Really that's just acting as a sort of shelf really for the 2 speakers above to sit on. So with that satellite back surround speaker now, that's more ear level, so we should get better surround effects from behind now. And obviously with the Atmos, isn't that far from the ceiling now. Hopefully we should be able to get some slightly better Atmos effects as well. Just moving down there, here is the second subwoofer. This was the main reason for buying this second set of speakers. It matches the other subwoofer, which I'll just move around here, and you can see there it is in that corner. That's the sub I've had for nearly 25 years now. So yeah, to get the identical sub is fantastic. So yeah, I'll have an equal balance of bass now in the room with a 7.2.4 system. So I'm now going to move over to that speaker, or two speakers over there, and pretty much do the same configuration as this one. It just means cutting some more speaker cable, getting it the right length, and then this black sort of tube that contains all the speaker wires. A really good piece of kit that. Yeah, it's available. You can cut it. It's like a mesh, like a material mesh. And if I just zoom down at the back here, this is where all your cables are. Yes, it still looks complicated, but believe me, without that tubing, that would just be one mass of wires. So while I'm back here, I'll just quickly show you down the bottom there. So if you can see, they're all the speaker connection cables from the receiver. And you've also got all the inputs as well, so all your Blu-ray, DVD, games console, CD player, etc. all go into this unit. So I'll be back for the next bit of this, showing this side done. Okay, so we're on to the other side of the room, and we're going to replace the rear speaker. I have taken the grill off of there, and if we zoom in, you can see that cone in the bottom speaker has actually been pushed in. That was done in error many years ago, and it hasn't really affected the sound quality, but I want to kind of replace it with the other speaker, so I'll use this speaker here to stand the other speaker on, as I've done with this side here. So yeah, it'll just act as a stand. Just moving down there, you can see the grill taken off the front of there, and again you can display those without the grills on. Personally I prefer them with the grills. Saves dust getting onto the cones. Just scrolling down there, there's the sub. So this would be the sub on the rear right. So yeah, I've got a nice balance of subs now with this 7.2.4 system. So I'll come back and I'll show you the completed speakers on this side. So guys, yeah, finished the little upgrades. So this is kind of version 2.0 of the movie room. So I'm just going to do a little tour again, just around, just showing you what I've done and the hopeful improvements that I've made. So guys, we look at the back of the room to start with, and as you can see on the left and right hand side, we now have a sort of tower of speakers on each side. Two satellite speakers and an Atmos. The bottom one on each side being kind of just a dummy speaker. There's no sound coming into that. So my system doesn't have the capability to run that many speakers. It's a 7.2.4 system. But with the middle speakers now being the satellite speakers, rear speakers, and being more at ear level, you should get better surround sound from that. And then obviously with both the Atmos speakers kind of being closer to the ceiling, hopefully it should give some sort of Atmos effect. We've also got the two subwoofers, so one there and one down there. That box there is the where all the plugs are contained, and obviously all the wiring is in with the sort of corded. Okay, so we're going to move around the room. Everything else is as before. The only difference being that on both the right and left hand side, again, I've included an extra speaker, but this time the middle speaker on either side is actually a dummy speaker. Yes, ideally it would have been nice to have had sound coming out of there, but it would have mean sort of getting all new speaker cable and taking all the cable out of the trunking. It's quite a lot of cable to go around, so luckily there's just enough cable on the Atmos speaker to sort of a little bit extra there, sort of to cope with that extra speaker in the middle. I've mainly done that, to be honest, for the Atmos. As you can see, there's the ceiling. It is a slope ceiling, but hopefully the Atmos speakers are going to be able to fire up a little bit more up onto the ceiling, hopefully kind of bounce down a little bit. So yeah, it's it's a slight improvement to the room. The main thing was to get that extra sub in place behind the two seats, so it's nice equal balance to the room now as far as subs go. And also, as I say, the rear effects should be a little bit better, sort of with that extra speaker in the middle. So guys, that's just sort of an update as to what I've been up to. So it's taken a couple of weeks to get this extra set of speakers. It was a bit of a hard slog trying to get them, but eventually they got here, as described, brand new, never been opened. I mean, the box must have been kept sealed for at least 20 years. As I say, I don't believe they make these particular speakers anymore. LTAC still makes speakers, but not the atomic surround sound set. Say for the price I paid, it's an absolute bargain. Yes, there are better speakers that you can buy, but you know, for my setup, I didn't want to spend too much money, yeah, hopefully these should sort of improve what I have and just improve the movie experience that bit better. If you're new here and you like these sorts of videos, why not consider subscribing to the channel by hitting that subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so you'll be informed when I do upload videos. Welcome back to existing subscribers as well. Hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, that really does help me out. It tells YouTube that you like these sorts of videos and pushes it out to other people, so they can, you know, find my channel and hopefully enjoy my content. Stick down in the comments, do you have what setup do you have? You know, do you have a 5.1 system or a 2.1? You know, a lot of people can't sort of afford sort of you know, a lot of equipment like this. I've been lucky that I've managed to get things on deals and things, and you know, picked them up over the years. But for a lot of people, it's just a sound bar, and that's absolutely fine. You can still get a really good sound out of a sound bar, and some of them are Atmos now. So you know, it's the technology's leaped forward since I got my original setup. So yeah, I really enjoy sort of home cinema. I'm not a dedicated home cinema channel, but you know, I like to incorporate at least a couple of videos, you know, showing my sort of my room and my setup, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't checked out my actual movie room tour, I'll leave a link here somewhere you can click on. Please go and check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. Take care and see you in the next one.